Welcome to Rewinding Founders, where we talk to founders and entrepreneurs about their very early days, openly and honestly, so everyone can see what it's actually like to start something new. Today, we're talking to Anika Brain, who's founded quite a few companies. Anika, how are you today?
Hey, hello from Barcelona. It's pretty
Hello.
hot, pretty hot for me. Yeah, but great. Thank you for inviting me for your podcast. I hope we're gonna make some hot stuff today, right?
Of course. So, Anika, I think you're one of the people who has founded the most companies that I've interviewed. So, tell us your background. How did you get started? What did you do? And what are you doing now?
Okay. Yeah. Actually, I'm a founder of four companies, and they're all at the different stages. So the oldest one, it's my first, actually, my student project that I started like 17 years ago. Um, Being a student of higher school of economics in Russia, and we started this project. With the support of at a business incubator inside the university, and we got some grants for advising, for they granted us an office for 1 year, so we could like establish our project like a serious company. And so this is how it's all started actually, because I always was like a hustler. I tried to earn some money from the very childhood. I don't know. I made so many things. Even I was um, a showman assistant. Like burning pigeons and all this stuff. so, so I was quite creative. And so finally we started this student project inside the university, the business incubator, and it worked. And so this company started to grow, and then later we changed, we pivoted a few times, and then we made it international, and still it's my company that works and bring me the money. It's my like a cash cow, and actually it's really similar to my lifestyle because it's a language center. It's We teach 20 languages with native speaker teachers, and so I speak 7 languages because I love all this stuff, foreigners and traveling and talking to people, communication. And so this is my lifestyle and my bread for the life, and I love this project so much. So this is my oldest one, and then my company allows me to bootstrap and other projects. And so I always started like few my new ideas and bootstrapped it. Sometimes I raised investments, and so I launched more than 20 startups in EdTech for these 17 years, and some of them are like quite successful. Most of them are closed. One time I made an exit selling my small project, and now I have three more like startups. One is about like 3 years old, another one is 2 years old, and the last one is 6 months, the newborn startup. So yeah, I have like quite different projects there, but they all of them are in edtech, in like mm, it's an education for communication and entrepreneurial mindset, and yeah, making startup and spreading to the world and so on. Yeah. This shortly, briefly about my experience. Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually almost too short. Like I didn't even realize you started 20 different companies. Wow. What was the craziest one?
The craziest one was um, a, a native speakers cafe. I think we rented the space, like a, how to call it, the loft, in the downtown of Moscow, and it was quite like strange for this time because we started to to invite foreigners there, and the teachers they started to teach their languages like Japanese, Chinese. Uh, Hebrew, Spanish, from like the teachers from all over the world. They came to my cafe, and we mixed cafe and library and the language school, and we made lots of events, educational events in this space, and it was a bit crazy because no one saw this model before, and then we really had to spend days and nights there inside because we had lots of operational work related to the cafe. I didn't realize it that there are so much things to do and to control, from I don't know, and we had so many crazy stories about the staff working in this cafe related to the food, that the food can be spoiled so fast, and with the air conditioner, with the visitors, the food that people don't like. So that was quite crazy because of the mix, of the mix of the spheres.
It's
Yeah,
weird.
so that was crazy because like we connected few spheres, and from each sphere we had to manage the operational tasks. That was difficult, but I grew a lot for this like 4 years. This project was like worked for 4 years, and then I moved from Russia and closed this project.
That's amazing. Was that after you were doing more techie startups, or was that before?
Yeah, it was before. Yeah, because actually my all my experience was in offline business. So I always opened, the schools, training centers, and these cafes, and I used to work with the physical spaces. But then after COVID, I realized that I need to go forward, and I need to be more techy, and I need to use more technology if I want to grow. And then the COVID helped me. It was really painful, but the transformation, the transition was so painful for me and for my family, for all the team. Some people they left my projects because they didn't want to work online, and then the income first it was low, and so we could not maintain the same salary level. And but then everything worked. And we finally now all of my projects they're techy online and spread. The team is spread around the world, and no one is working in the office actually. Yeah, so it's quite a different type of business.
So
It
interesting.
changed a lot from like for only 5 years. Yeah, 4 years. We changed almost everything: business
Wow.
models and teams and and target audiences and everything.
What do you think makes you keep wanting to start new ones?
I think it's my passion and my values, because all my projects were always related to my lifestyle, to my family, to my personal pains. Yeah, because for example, most of my interest now is creating inclusive technology, inclusive educational technology for ADHD and autistic kids, and and it started with my son because he is an ADHD guy, and it's too difficult for me, even though I work in EdTech for 17 years. I could not involve him, you know, mm, in education. And when COVID started, we collapsed. His education collapsed, and so I had to invent something, and we started to try metaverse, Roblox, Minecraft, everything. To search for instruments how to teach my son, and so. Just from this search, I found some ideas that worked not only for my son but for friends and for local communities in Israel. And so we had lots of feedback on this. So everything started with my passion and with my lifestyle, with my family. and so I just cannot, leave it. Yeah, I cannot leave my love and my life and my values. So I have to move forward.
Amazing. Did you have any painful failures?
Sure, okay. All startups have a lot. Yeah, uh, I think it's like 80%, failures and then 20 success. So you just need to realize that it's gonna happen all the time, and you need to work on your resilience and on your adaptivity, right, and flexibility. Be ready always to pivot. Be always ready to leave something that doesn't work. From the very beginning, all my projects, they were like children. I opened the project and it was like pregnancy. Then I was thinking, wow, I need to, like, how I gonna be, how I gonna create this idea, how I gonna execute, and so this is like a pregnancy, yeah. And then when you start, it's a newborn, and then there are some people around who help you to take care. Yeah, so it's really looks like being a mother, of a project. And so when my first project died, I had to shut it down. I really felt like I lost a child, and that was so painful for me that I was like recovering for months after the closure, after the shutdowns of this project. But now, after like 20 projects and like I don't know 15 failures, I don't feel so much pain already, and I think it's experience because okay, I know already that I will drop down, I will fail, but then I need some time, some rest, some reflection on the experience, and then I just go for another one.
Amazing. Wow, that's such a good narrative. You basically just build whatever is making you excited and see where it goes.
Yeah, yeah. But from the very beginning, it was not so clear for me. You know, I was dreaming about like building a unicorn, and so like I did not I believed so much in my ideas. I was like so like straightforward, and I could not move. I could not pivot. I could not leave the idea, yeah, and let it go. And so I think it's a mistake to be so conservative in terms of ideas and in terms of actions on these ideas. Yeah. So I think now idea actually is worth nothing. It's like execution, how you do it. How you do it with passion, with I don't know, with joy, with the right people, with the meaningful steps, but not the idea itself. So you can leave the idea, but the people and your passion will stay and will help you to find another idea.
Amazing. How are you able to find the right people? Like I'm guessing that some projects you did with other people, some maybe on your own, and now you have employees also. So how did you even find the people that fit what you were looking for?
um, from the very beginning, it's about values. I think when you meet the people, you feel I'm trying to talk about like different stuff, about hobbies, about your what do you appreciate in your life, what you're dreaming for, this kind of stuff, so I can understand more or less if we are going the same direction or we are like opposite. And so this is the first step. There is a diagram. No, I cannot find it because it was like in Russian. In Russian, there is a full article describing values of people. Yeah, like from the very beginning. So like the people who are more about status, about like I don't know, like expensive. stuff, expensive watch, I don't know, Apple and brands and so on. Or there are people thinking about more, power, or about the structure, about the rules, or people thinking about more like a global, global issues, or people thinking about unite the unity of spirits in the world. And so you just understand what people need on the stage. And so sometimes if you understand that the person is just about fulfilling the status, his status, for example, buying an expensive car or something, that I understand that maybe I will not be able to um, I won't be able to uh, inspire him for my values, when I'm talking. For example, when I'm talking about inclusive society and inventing, infrastructure for inclusive people, maybe the gap between our values is so big that we cannot really work together, because we always look in the different directions. And so this is like the first thing that I use, values calibration between me and the person, and that when I see the match, so I personally, I don't know how like other people feel. I feel the some passion for the person. Let it say like I fell a little bit in love with the person, and I want to hug and to stay with the person, and I understand that I want just to create something together with this person, because I really feel some passion with or admire, I don't know what, admire the intelligence or creativity of the person. But then you need like a trial period. You need uh, to to understand how you work together, and you need like a trial project to accomplish together, or uh, to have an opportunity to dive into a very intensive experience together. For example, you go, I don't know, to for hiking into mountains for, I don't know, 3 or 7 days, and you can see how a person show himself in different situations, when he's tired, when he's joyful, when he's inspired, how he acts. And so for me this is important, when you can see the people in the different times and the different situation, and so you understand how he will behave on the long run when you work together. So yeah, I think this first one is like values calibration. The second one is trial intensive experience together, right? It can be everything, like education or traveling or a real business project, but very shortened in the time. Yeah, maybe like 2-3 months or something, and then you just make a reflection on how you made it together, and if you are okay on how we acted together in this period.
That was the most practical thing I have ever heard about how to start working with people. And wow, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Wow, that's so interesting. And when you when you select these people and you see that they align with you, so were you always looking at the same values? Were you always about the vision and like what the way you see it now?
Sometimes we choose people for a stage, right? For a stage or for a project. And so you understand, okay, maybe we are not so like similar, right? But we can make it together. This period of time, or this stage of the company, of the project, or we could just help each other to like find something, create something, to meet some people, and then we'll go to like a different path. Yeah. So sometimes it's not working for the long run, and yeah, I do not like throw the people from my life if I see that they have like some different values.
Amazing. Okay. So when you started your first business, did you call yourself a founder?
I think I didn't know these words yet. We just started something, it worked. I had lots of fun. I had lots of communication with the foreigners, and then I realized that something big, is coming, and then it's really fascinating for me, the experience itself. So I didn't really realize that we are building a business, at this time. So, yeah, and so yeah, I didn't know any of this lexic about founders or investments or I don't know, business angels or something. Then a few years ago, yeah, like maybe in 3-5 years, I started to read, these clever books about founders and startups and VC, all this stuff. And I said, oh, wow, but we made this, we used it, for example, FFF, family full friends, yeah, the like a first circle of investment. I said, wow, really? I went to my auntie, I went to my friend, I went to everyone, and to this person that really believed me more than I believed in myself. So we really used all this stuff, but we didn't know how it's called. So yeah, I didn't call myself a founder, definitely.
Perfect. What is one thing that happened very early on that showed you, wow, like I'm in the right direction, like this is going well?
It's a difficult question, It's a really I always, hesitated. I mean, I never realized that it really could be something really big or for all my life. I wanted, yeah, I dreamed about it, but I didn't think of my company that it's really this case, no. So I was thinking, okay, maybe now we're just playing this game, and then it stop, and then I will go to make something else, and so on. Yeah, so I didn't realize it, so that it could be such a long project, such a stable, project that could grow in something more. Yeah, so it was. I think maybe I was too young. I was like 21 or something when I started it, and so it was many things were really unconscious, unconscious in this period for me. Just doing, every day, small steps or big steps, having fun.
Most important. Wow. So, what would you say it would was the difference between the way you were when you started that company at 21, when you were kind of like, you know, accidentally sort of starting a company, to the way you were when you started, for example, the company that you have for a couple of years now?
Um, Mostly, I think it's about people with whom I start, because I think the most traumatic experiences were my first, you know, break breakouts with the partner, my first partners, and like we were four, and like three of them, we had huge conflicts that lasted for months, and I really didn't know what to do with these conflicts around, money and power and splitting, the company. So that was so stressful for me that now I think twice, before going partnership with someone. And I definitely make, this trial partnership periods, and I I show, the contracts to my advisors before going any, partnership. If I understand it is for a long run, yeah, it's for a short period. Okay, I can stand it like few months, but if we start and dream about something, big and long, then yeah, I it's yeah, it's about people. This is the huge difference between 17 years ago and now. But in terms of ideas, the same. Oh wow, I love it. Let's do it. Yeah, I can work days and nights if I have something in mind, and then the same as like 17 years ago. Nothing matters, only this focus.
Amazing. Do you think anything about you personally changed throughout this process?
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really every single project changed me, and it looks like a puzzle, a huge puzzle of a million pieces that I collect from each project. Mm, I think some of the core stuff, for example, like my values, they are the same, but how I react or how I can communicate, yeah, how I can um, like survive the failure is completely there are completely different people. Yeah, so
Amazing.
it's more like in terms of my reactions, right? It's not about um my personality, but for my reactions on everything and my communication.
Amazing. What's one piece of advice that you hear people giving new entrepreneurs or new entrepreneurs getting that you think, mm,
mm, I think we just should not be too serious about all the advice, and because actually no one knows how it all works, and no one knows what project will be successful or it will be a failure. It's just impossible to predict, and so I believe just we need to hear more ourselves and to follow our passions and our values and our um, I don't know, to understand the mission or something and to be aligned with the mission, and then to hear the advice, but do not keep it 100%, because it may work for someone, but for another one it will not work. And then the world is changing, the stages of the company is changing, everything like changing, and like even one advice can work on one stage for you or for you, like as the beginner, and then in 3 4 5 years when you are more mature it will not work. So I cannot even uh, tell you which advice is good or which is not.
it's a good response. You're saying basically everything, different things work for different stages, and you just have to be okay with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just try. I think the iterations, like as do as many iterations on your idea and project and hypothesis as much as you can, and so you can crystallize your own experience and your own thoughts on your own um, resumes, yeah, from what has happened for you and for your team, for your company. Yeah.
Cool. Do you remember all the companies you started?
If I start, to make a list or to write it down, yeah, I cannot immediately make you a list. Yeah, but sure, I will remember them all.
Amazing. Do you have maybe, like, could you tell us about a few of them, like how you got the idea and then what happened and how did it end, if it ended?
Yeah, maybe I have one of my like favorite failures because I think it was like one of the greatest passions, because it started with again with the ADHD of my son, and we gathered with our partners from Miami, a really great couple friends of our friends. Yeah, so they were the people whom I really loved and love this time, even though we closed everything. But so we started the idea that I really loved. So we started to create educational games on Roblox with the people I really loved and liked. Yeah, that I admired their creativity and their everything. Yeah, the experience and the vibe. And so we raised the investments, like about 400,000 from business angels. And our first business angel was Fabrice Grinda. He was listed top 3 business angels in the world by Forbes, like a few years ago. And so he really believed in our idea, like teaching kids in Roblox. And so we were so, inspired, and we were like 100% sure that it's gonna fly, to the space, our idea and the project. And so, and we worked 2 years. We worked on this project. We created 3 educational games, and then we even won a grant from the Lego Foundation. And we went to Denmark to their headquarters, to the accelerator, Play for All accelerator from Lego Foundation. And it was like everything was so, cool and smooth. And we we even started to sell, the subscriptions for our games, and our mentors supported us so much. But then we realized that we are in the middle of the most common trap of startupper, that we raised our burn rate so much that our funds are getting faster and faster, out. And so because we were so inspired, we like with our idea, so let's build like one more game with this pet and with this kind of like graphics, and we need the greatest game designer ever. We need some like the the most like detailized reports for teachers and for parents. So we're so like involved in the idea, so passionate, and so that we really couldn't see some like obvious things. So our burn rate was already like 30,000 per month when we realized that we still don't have a product market fit, actually. And then we were participating in the Lego Foundation casting for the second stage for the big grant of 1 million euro. And we were like 100% sure that we're gonna win it, And so this, maybe craziness, of the idea, yeah, it closed our eyes, and it did not let us see and plan, another ways, and to cut down the burn rate. And so we had to close the project because of like it just funds run out. Yeah. And I was like, what? How could it happen? It couldn't happen like this. Everything was so cool. Just in the middle of, our flight, we're just going to fail. No, it's impossible. Yeah. Yeah. But that was great. I mean, even our investors, they were like, they admitted that it was a good game, and they said, "Okay, guys, you really made a great you know uh, play." And so if you have another project, just come back to us. Maybe we're gonna participate again.
Interesting. So, how were you able to maintain such a good relationship with them?
To be honest, it was like my business partner who was responsible for investors relationship, but we always were like honest, yeah, and we wrote lots of reports, very digitalized, that guys, we are making these decisions, that's why we do it, we involve these people because we want their support. So we really talked with them a lot, explaining the things, showing them that we're trying, to pivot, to find another ways, we showed them how much we worked and how much we're really trying to find the solution for the situations. And we heard their advices when they said, guys, we think that you need to exclude for example, teachers from your model, right? You need to make it self-play, and so we're gonna reduce the price. And we always try to 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 make it, to execute their advice. And so I think this strong communication with them, it helped us to keep the relations.
Amazing. And how did you, between the founders, how did that conversation look like when you decided that, well, we have to end this?
That was tough, that was really tough, even though we really realized that we're good friends, but the moment was so hard for everyone that our last meetings were like at the morn. Everyone so sad and angry, didn't know like what to do really, and hesitating. Maybe we'll try this one. No, we don't have time. And so maybe last 5 or 10 meetings were really hard for everyone. But then we one day we said, okay, let's stop this torture, guys. We don't know what to do already, so let's stop it. It's not like the last day of our life, but we need to admit we lost. We lost. Yeah, I think maybe I was really down for 2 months, and so didn't, because I couldn't accept it, because I was too high in my dreams that it cannot, end. There is no end. So when I fell down, I just had time to accept and to surrender this pain. Yeah, but
Amazing.
for my luck, I was in Mexico in this period, and so uh, we had a great community with including people who were involved, in all like shamanic stuff and psychedelic and like so on. And so we went to some like ceremonies with the ice bath, with some yoga and dance and so on. So we really I really released my traumas through my body and from yoga and from like everything, through talking to shamans, to making some massage and swimming. So I just dedicated a lot of time to myself, my body, and to my mental health, and it really helped. So in 2 months, I already was like full of power, saying, "Okay, what's next, guys? I'm ready." Yeah,
I'm doing another one.
yeah, we're going to make another one, definitely.
Wow, that is so cool. So when you were when you were there, how did you end up there? Were you living there? Were you traveling?
We came there just for this period of time, because actually we lived in Israel when we started this project, and we had to work at nights because we work with the United States, our investors and clients and partners, everyone. And so as soon as I have 2 kids, that was really crazy. Or like passing an interview with Y Combinator at like 12 o'clock, and my kids sitting under the table telling, Mom, read us a story. We need, please stop working. So that was quite crazy. And finally, we decided to move, to this time zone, at least to Mexico, to be the same time zone with our team and investors and clients. And we were thinking, if we're gonna go to the next investment round, we will move to Miami, but we didn't. So because we just raised the pre-seed, and then we shut down. And so we decided to move back to Europe from, and when we knew that Mexico will be like a transit zone for us, but it lasted like 1 year and a half, so not so little, not
Wow.
such a short time.
How did you balance being a mom and having kids and doing all of this at the same time? How do you do it now? How did you do it when you got started? Wow.
I always have to invest, in my energy and in my mental health, because as I stop to do it, then everything crash. If I do not invest in, uh, I don't know, being alone, caring of my body, caring of my spirits, my harmony inside, then everything, like, nothing works with kids, nothing works with the projects. And so, mm, with the time, especially when you travel, especially uh, when you are a digital nomad, as I am, yeah, because I lived in 8 countries, for last 17 years. And so, every time when you move, you have so much stuff, so many stuff to do, like arranging everything, all your life from the beginning. And so, especially with the kids, searching for the schools, for nannies, for, I don't know, for everything, for the food to buy, where the next supermarket that you're gonna use. So it's really exhausting. And I started to, so when I moved to Israel, like, seriously, during the COVID, I realized that I need a source of the energy, and I need to find a way how to refill it constantly every day. And if I don't find, nothing will work. No, my family, neither my projects. And I started to do it. Found teachers. I found the techniques that work for me. Every day I use breathworks. If I do not do breathworks and, like, reading, then I'm not here. I'm not myself. Yeah, and so when I'm, like, balanced, then I can handle all this. If not, then my kids say, "Oh, Mama Monster is coming. So, Mom, please go and meditate, please. You need this."
That's so funny. Are your kids entrepreneurial?
Yeah, they spend so much time sitting under my table, or traveling to my business meetings, or, like, asking us, "Mom, what is the man you met?" And I really told them, this guy, he opened, like, Minecraft education. You love Minecraft education? This is the founder of Minecraft. Wow, what is the founder of Minecraft education? Oh, how is he? Like, what's his name? And so they're always, partially involved, but they always hear all these meetings, and sometimes they travel with me. They meet, for example, yesterday, I've met my, like, one of the first partners of my business, uh, like the first business 17 years ago, and we went all together, and our kids play together, in swimming in the swimming pool. And so they realize that we are talking about business stuff, and so they stay with us. They make, like, their ear open, asking questions. And so sometimes they give me advice. "Mom, why you didn't you said that you don't have enough clients in your school, yeah, in summer, but why you didn't use uh, influencers in YouTube?" Yeah, that they so, yeah, so their questions, they're quite smart for the age, and I hope it will serve them, when they grow, and so they could start their own business. Yeah.
Wow. How old are they?
9 and 11.
Sounds like a fun house to live in.
Or too fun, sometimes. Sometimes I call it my zoo.
You know,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Entrepreneurial family, yeah. But sometimes they come to me with, the ideas that they want to realize. And so, yeah, let's sell something like, you know,
Have
something.
you ever gone with one of these ideas?
They once opened a YouTube channel, wanting to make some videos and selling the entrance to their games in Roblox or something. Yeah, and we even hired teachers for them, the tutors, to teach them a Roblox studio on how to create Roblox games, and then we hire teachers on YouTube. Yeah, I see that it's a bit early for them to be to be so. So I do not push them. Yeah, but I try to support the initiatives.
So great. What do you think is do you think that if someone would have looked at you when you were younger, like maybe even their age, would they be able to see the entrepreneurial direction that you had in you?
Mm, I think yes, because uh, now when I see people, especially in my latest project, the entrepreneurial community, um, for early stage entrepreneurs, I can very like clearly see who is on the way to build his successful project, and who is not really ready for this, because I can see these soft skills in people, and I said, okay, you still need um, to go through some obstacles to be more resilient. For example, if you go to build your own business, you will fail, like in 2-3 months you're gonna encounter your first fail, and it's gonna kill you, and you will come back into your uh, Amazon or Google or something, so you're not too resilient. So go and work on your resilience.
What do
It's
you
like,
think is the difference between, like, honestly asking, when you see people who are mostly entrepreneurs or even failed entrepreneurs or people who usually, work for very early stage startups versus people of like Amazon, Google? Because it sounds like you have some experience with that.
yeah, the first thing that I have in my mind is uh, it's uh, it's a fear of being judged and a fear of being mistaken, because when you become an entrepreneur, you always exposed, on the society, and they can see your mistakes, and you cannot hide it. You cannot hide it from your team, from your investors. They see the results, and so you need to be ready of making mistake, to be judged, and to step, over this judgment, to take responsibility, and then to go forward, and to make another crazy decision, and so this is quite a skill. And when you're working like in funk, yeah, like Facebook, Amazon, and Google, then you don't have this opportunity. You don't have the opportunity to improve, to fine tune this skill, because you're always like the responsibility is like collective. Everyone is so, like, we are so cool here, professionals, and so on. So yeah, I think this is like the first thing that I see when I encounter people from the big corporations, yeah, from like a C level um, managers that are really good, like for example in hard skills, but they are missing, some important stuff to be a founder.
Cool. No, it's really interesting to me because I see how it's just different skills. Like you can be very, very good at anything
Mhm.
you do and be an executive and, do really good things, but still not have the emotional ability to put yourself in a space of, I might fail horribly.
Yeah.
Like
Are you
you
ready to lose your reputation? Yeah. Are you ready to lose your status? Are you ready to lose your comfort one day? Are you ready to change your huge, I don't know, modern apartment to a small one, if you lose everything? Are you ready for this? Or everyone will point at you and say, you are a loser, and you will, hide under the blanket, watching the series, Netflix, and so on. So, this is the emotional skill that you definitely need when you go to the entrepreneurial path.
Yeah, it sounds like in your journey you've had a lot of like, this idea is amazing. Pfft, like, whoops. And
Yeah.
just like, and and what's cool about this also is that you don't need every idea to work. Like, once you have a few ideas working,
Yeah, I know that I have plenty of them, New idea will emerge immediately when I'm okay, when I'm okay. I just need to come back at this, in this point where when I'm passionate again.
cool. So sometimes I hear people who are sort of scared of sharing their ideas because they think the idea is so important and special.
Mm.
And what do you have to say about that?
I think it's nothing to fear. We live in the informational epoch, right? We even sell the information, but now you still have the execution, and then there is enough space to everyone. And for example, now I started to talk with all my competitors, and I talk to them like, guys, we have a huge market, right? And we like millions of people, billions of people who like can buy our product. So let's go together, right? Let's think how we can help. Let's think how we can make like coalitions, synergy together, not trying to pick the like this small, pieces of pie with like fighting, So mm, for me, like sharing your ideas, even sometimes people they come to me asking, the really specific questions on how you did this in your build in your business, how you like stepped, from this stage to this stage, and I honestly tell all the details because I know that the people they will execute it their way, and their product will be their product with their vibe and their audience, And so, but I will make the relationship, and we will have this relationship together, and we can uh, all benefit from it, and then the people know that they can come to me again, and then they can rely on that I am sincere and so on. So I think this costs much more than just an idea or just a small piece of technology. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, no, it's great. It sounds like you're really in the mindset of like abundance. Like there's so many things that you can do. There's so many ways you can do it. Every person is going to do it differently. And knowing who you're competing with is just making you stronger, sort of like being united in a way.
Yeah, I just think that the world now is about unity, not about like separation. So I strongly believe that we need to deconstruct all the boundaries, even between the competitors. So we need to play together this game,
Perfect.
not to fight.
Yeah. I have a more technical question to ask
Mhm.
actually. When you were starting out and you were just, you still haven't had all this experience and you were maybe younger, how did you get your first investors? Like, how did you create that situation?
I already told you that we started with the FFF, family, fools, friends,
Mm.
and so thus we just get this experience, right? When you go to your auntie or when you go to your friends and they believe in you, then when they see the passion, then they see your results, like the first results, right? So they just need you, bring you their first small checks, and then with each check, your confidence it raises, and so you go like this, from smaller checks, with it, from tiny checks, from FFF, you grow. Yeah.
Wow, interesting. How
I
did you
think
have
this. I think that I'm sorry. I think this rule is really. You asked me about advice, yeah, and so now I found this. The FFF is really works,
That's so interesting because I feel like a lot of people have, including me, like I had like some sort of a resistance to do that because you're thinking it's your friends, it's your family,
Mhm.
like, I don't know. How did you resolve that within yourselves? Did you even feel like that way?
I always felt it like you say, yeah, like this way, and so you just need to fail with your family and with your friends, and to see the reactions, and to resolve, and to talk with them, and to communicate, and to apologize, and to take responsibility. Yeah, you just need to go through this experience and realize that you did not die. Yeah, nobody died, but it was difficult. It was difficult, but everyone is okay now. Or maybe someone said, "No, we will never ever talk to each other. I hate you. You." Okay, it happens also. But what we can do? We cannot stop because we need to execute to create one more idea. So even this situation will not stop us. So yeah, and then everyone, I think all the successful entrepreneurs also experience this, these failures with the close people, with the friends, and you lose friends. Yeah, and sometimes you lose family members, but this is the life. When you experience it, you become, more stable, realizing that nothing is infinite, and nothing is really stable, and nothing is really normal here in our in our life. But you need just to feel it with your skin.
Perfect. Perfect answer. Okay, so my last question to you is what would you tell people who are either getting into entrepreneurship or maybe are starting a startup or just failed a startup? What have you got to say?
You mean one advice or
I
what?
mean, you can say however many pieces of advice you'd like.
um, I think it's just like, don't give up. And then this is like the most. You can fail 1,000 times, but do not give up, because when you turn back and when you see your path, like after many years, you still understand that it was really fun. It was life. It was like colorful and great, passionate life. So I think just need to you need to be persistent and never ever give up. How many fails you did? Okay, you made like 20 fails. It's okay. Made 21.
What's one more fail?
It was one more fail. Yeah.
Perfect. So, okay, so I know that you wanted to give our audience a gift from your earliest business.
Great. Yeah, thank you for this opportunity. Guys, if you need to learn a language, any of 20 most popular languages in the world, then I give you a free lesson with one of my native speakers tutors. It's a personal lesson of 30 minutes where you can see how joyful it is to communicate in the language that you love, and that learning is fun and joy. Tell my team a secret word, this friend, and then you get this lesson from me. And we're gonna leave the link. And so I will be happy to help you with the language, with learning languages, whatever language you want to learn. Thank you, Adi, for having me here.
Thank you, Anika, for that so much. I'll definitely be using that. I'm still thinking of which language I'm going to learn next because I'm kind of traveling the world a lot now. But thank you so much. And thank you for coming on the show. I think like everything you said blew my mind. I feel like you have such a unique point of view because you've experienced so many different situations. And then at the end of the day, your advice is so just like, just do it, sort of, which I think a lot of people need to hear.
What can be easier? Yeah, what can be easier? Just keep doing, keep doing. Really, really appreciate this experience. Thank you so much. And guys, never, never, ever give up. If you give up, call me.